Are you going? Well, I'll start with this here. I've taken some springs, cut them in half, and that is the shaker right there. That insulates from the base to the part that shakes. I used an old hand sander that sands wood, mounted it to the top, which shakes, and the bottom is hooked to the base, which don't shake. Nice thing about this one, it has a switch there I can use, turn it off and on. I'd like to get a tighter woven screen than this one. This is a 60. I'd like to have an 80. But at any rate, this is the best I can get at the moment, unless I order it from China. It goes in the top with a sock-like deal that goes in the bowl that's going to catch the flour. This is the flour that we just ground through the, what is the name of this, a Nutri-Mill? The Nutri-Mill. We ground it a bit coarse so we could get a little bit more bran out of it. For this one here, I'm using about 2 cups. You can use 3, which works just as great. I'm going to use 2. Put it in the top. I'm using a rag which goes over the top, and the reason I'm using this is to keep the dust down, and it helps seal it. You hook it down. Now this thing shakes sort of violent. It needs something a little bit less ability to vibrate or shake, because it's more than what it needs for this. But I time this at 2 minutes, or 1.5 minutes will be just as good. I'll wait till that, turn it on. Just let it vibrate for 1.5 to 2 minutes. With my hand, that would take me probably 25 minutes. That's 1.5 minutes of shaking. Now what we put in is the flour that we ground, and what comes out is your bran. And what you sifted is your white flour, which is just gorgeous. It's one of the better machines I've ever built, and it didn't take very long. It's kind of a simple thing to do, and we keep the bran in here. And there's things you can do with that, some sort of baking. I'm not the baker, my wife does that, but I find it a lot easier to build this and shake this by hand. To do that much grain, just to sift it out, that much grain out of your flour, it would take you probably a good 25 minutes if you'd last that long. This takes a minute and a half with this machine. Fantastic. Put it back in. Put your flour back in it. I wish I'm making a mess here, but this time I want to just do what I got left. That's probably a cup and a half. Spread it out a little bit. Hook it down. Keep the lid on there tight enough. That's just to keep the dust down. And it's ready to go.